Hi guys. Hello. Just waiting for a few people to join. Who have we got? I can see 2 watching. Can you see me and hear me okay? Can someone let me know that you can hear me? Hello? Okay, well, no time like the present. Hello, whoever's joining me. I can't. Hiya, Carl. Can somebody just, it's always awkward the first couple of minutes. I've just been trying to come on and it's been acting a bit strange. I can see there are 4 there, but I can't see any comments. It might be one of those again. Well, welcome. And it's been, God, it seems like it's been forever since I've done this. It must have been about 4 weeks plus. Sam, hello. Carl, hello. So yeah, it's been about 4 weeks, and unfortunately it's just I'm so bloody busy with a full-time job and then all the hours that we have to put in group as well. So it's been extremely it's been too busy for me to do, and unfortunately VocalPoint's going to go to once a month for the foreseeable until, you know, things quieten down a little bit. So we've got some really good poetry tonight. We have, let's see, Carl Butler, a classic from Poe, Ron Conway, Vilvalex Khalees, Sonali Ray, Shelley Rice, Janelle, James K. Blaylock, Michael Sutton, and Jen Banks. Featured poet tonight is Carl. I'm going to start with Carl and finish with a poem by Carl. Welcome everybody. I can't see any comments whatsoever, none. So I hope you're all well. It's just unfortunate that I can't see comments because I can't see what's being said or what's going on. So without further ado, we've got Carl Butler, which his book is now on Kindle, available for pre-order. The paperback, we are waiting for a definitive date, but it's looking like the 2nd of September, and Carl will be published, yes, published, and also available on Amazon. It's a brilliant book. I edited it. It took me a long time, but it really is a debut book. Really, really good. And at some point we're going to be working on an audiobook, given the time. Hi Jerry. Hey Janelle. I hope you're well, sweetie. So without further ado, Starless by Carl Butler. There are no stars in the firmament tonight. Just a turgid cloud-bound sky. My moon of her, not a single sight. I'm so sad that in support the heavens cry. Gentle tears, of course my pen will weep, spreading sorrow across the page. I am parted from ever-needed sleep, as my poetic thought and woes engage. I call upon the gods and humbly say, release me from my curse this coming day. Like the tide, I am drawn by some unknown force, invisible and yet so strong, forcing me upon some unrelenting course, a migrant bird back where it belongs. That does feature in My Black Swan Calling, a poetry collection by Carl Butler. We really do hope that you support him and you buy the book. It's well worth it. If I remember correctly, it's $9.99 and £8.99 UK pounds, which is a pretty good price for 190 plus pages of poetry. So yeah, so that's Starless. And I'm a little bit put off at the moment because I've got a cat and he has this treat mouse with all his biscuits in and he's kicking that around, so it's driving me crazy. So who's with us? Madhu, hello. Oh, Jerry. The next one I'm going to read for you is one of mine. I quite like it. It's short and sweet, and I was just feeling a bit melancholy and came up with this a few weeks ago, and it's called Life. The simplest things, the hardest lessons, all... Oh God, Kato. And that's my cat. Oh God, oh well. You couldn't write it, could you? Yeah, that's my cat. Do apologise. So going back to it, life. The simplest things, the hardest lessons, all contribute to life's transgression. To live, to feel, to love can all become too much or too little in time, depending how you use your senses to progress positively or negatively in this crazy thing called life. After all, the decisions you make determine the path you take, for granted, whether they were meant or wanted. Yeah, I think I don't know really, I don't know where that came from. I was just thinking about life and stuff, and you know, and that's what came to me. And we've only got 6 watching, 5. Wow. Okay. How's everybody doing? Have you all submitted to Hotel, Motel, Notel? It's a brilliant theme. So all those unfaithful affairs, murder in a hotel. There's all sorts of different things there that should get those pens bleeding. So has everybody sent that in? Carl, I know you have. I've sent one in. And I think a lot of the mod team have. 26th of July midnight, final day for submissions. Well, there again, I'm only talking to 5 people, so. Okay, so the next one, and hopefully he will not interrupt. As you can see, I've got my phone balanced against the corner on the windowsill, and he's sat there, little sod. Hi, Chris. Welcome. So the next one is from one of my absolute favourite poets of all time. And it was written in 1829. It wasn't published till 1875. And it's by Edgar Allan Poe, called Alone. The poem recollects his childhood memories. It also illustrates how the experiences of his childhood have affected his life. And this is actually a very deep, very sad write when you hear the words. So here goes. Edgar Allan Poe, Alone. From child's hour I have not been, as others were, I have not seen. As others saw, I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken, my sorrow I could not awaken, my heart to joy the same tone, and all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn, from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning of the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took that form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. I did a little bit of reading up on Edgar Allan Poe, and he had a really sad childhood. He'd lost both parents by the age of about 2 or 3, and basically had a pauper's upbringing. So, you know, he didn't get much love, but from reading that, he's got so much love to give, but he's never found it. But when he does, you know, it's... Anyway. So there's a few things changing in Dark Poetry Society. Spoken Spotlight and Promotional Spotlight from this month, September and onwards, will be twice a month. And then on an ad hoc basis. We've got the poetry form, as you know, that Ron and Paul do, and we've got the book reviews that have come in. Unfortunately, Carl and I cannot give any more time than we are doing, and it's killing us. So we need to take a step back a little bit and find time for ourselves. So there will be certain events that will be stopping. 1, maybe they've run the course. 2, the audience are not interested, which really pains me, but that's a whole different story. Gajit, hello. Andrew Jonathan Daniels, hi. Thank you for joining. The next one is by what I call the classic poet, Mr. Ron Conway. Now, I don't know if you've got his books. There is Slightly After Dark, and then his second one was Hidden Agenda. And Hidden Agenda is a quote or a saying by famous poets, but done as an acrostic poem in, you know, in his form. Very clever. And this one is called Find What You Love and Let It Kill You, which was a Charles Bukowski quote. Short and sweet. Find the one sharp stone and grasp what it means. You find it grotesque, but you love it to hell. And hold it sharp side palmed. Let it cause that mortal sting when it meets the lingual nerve. Don't kill the rush. You worked too hard to get here. Really clever. So I slightly accentuated each of the words there. Find what you love and let it kill you. And the whole book is just full of quotes in poetic form by Ron. And I would strongly suggest, you know, a purchase of that. It's a good book, a really good book. So how is everybody? What's going on with everyone? Not getting very many comments. You're all a little quiet tonight. No Ali and no Caroline, the usual posse. But I'm not surprised, because this is the first time that this has been done, probably in about a month now, and I have missed it. And because I love reading your poetry, I really do, so much. Jerry said he's living. Yeah, I know that feeling, Jerry. Yeah, on the note of Ron, Carl actually did a review of Ron's book, and you can catch that in announcements at the top of the group. Really, really good. Oh, hi, Eliane. Nice to see you. And nice to see you too, Janelle. Miss you, girl. Don't see you much these days. Well, there we go. We're all running different groups, aren't we? Busy ones at that. So this is from one of our audience, one of our members, should I say, Vilvalex Khalees, who, although not a prolific poet, this is going to test my vocabulary, that's for sure. I have had an influx of writes in the past few weeks. I must have about 50 to read, and because I've not been doing VocalPoint, they're built up, unfortunately, but they will all get read, I promise they will. So the next one is by Vilvalex Khalees, and it's called Poetry, Sea and Sky. And what she said about this poem is, this particular poem started with a quiet time in my backyard. Only me, the crickets and the sky. This has been changed many times from the original poem. I cannot see the sea from my backyard. So I think this is very much about the imagery and the need to be near the sea. I do apologise, my cat wants to go out. I'm going to strangle him shortly. Go on, out. And then he'll probably jump back in and knock my phone off again. I do apologise, this is what you get being live. Okay, Poetry, Sea and Sky, Vilvalex Khalees. The liquescent silvery sheath quivers lithely in the chill of the night. Sea meets sky in meek velvet garb. A gallant denudation at the brim of man's vision. Sultry night bereaves absence of light, evanescing in a crepuscular stream of wind. Nature disrobes before a poet's eyes, shedding its garment of stars, bestowing decor of naked sky to fireflies. Zest of moonlight burns eyes of roses, pricks faces of dry leaves, yearning for chlorophyll dreams. Bucolic marvel beyond logic and reason, a bequest to our poetic soul, written in the panoramic distance, with a metaphoric perfection on canvas of sea and marine blue sky, except for the birds' love songs distorting the echoes of tranquility. I think it's an absolutely beautiful poem, and I think there's some words in there that it's so descriptive. You know, the disrobing and the denudation, it's got like an undercurrent of really sensual, sexy feel. But yeah, really, really nice write. And it's a shame Vilvalex couldn't join us. I did actually ask her, I said, you know, is that your real name or is that a pen name? And she said, no, it's my real name. So, I mean, if that's the case, it's very unusual, isn't it? Thank you, Chris. I know, Janelle, it is a wow, isn't it? Some of the word choices in there are so... I had to read it through about 4 times to ensure that I got it right. You know, chlorophyll, liquescent, bucolic. But it really is. It's a very, very pretty poem. And I was hoping Sonali could join us, because the next one that I'm going to read is by Sonali Ray. What is poetry? So this is what poetry is in Sonali's mind. When the lips can't express and the emotions strangulate, when the eyes are dry but the heart cries, when yesterday's moments recreate a curve on shivering lips, when alphabets dwelling in the heart explode and are drenched in ink, when the pillows taste the salty tales every night. When the blank pages sing the ballad of my heart's plight. When, instead of daisies, I feel like dandelions. When the timepiece ticks its way, but the heart stays where it desires to stay. When the glittering crescent floods every dark corner of my soul. When the morning gold promises me a new, fresh story and hides the old. When the mirror reflects the inner scars, but the fleshy veil covers it. When the empty pages are painted in red instead of blue ink. When the hardships choke every breath, forcing the pulse to sink gradually. When the rainbow fades away somewhere amidst the greys. That's when the alphabet from the eternal chasm finds a shelter. That's when the ineffable emotions discover a canopy. That's when the fingers etch the poetry called you and me. The unvoiced emotions of this placid heart when engraved on leaves. That's what poetry is to me. How gorgeous is that? It's beautiful, isn't it? You know, when Sonali sent that to me at first, I was unsure how to read it, but, you know, she's saying, you know, everything, poetry is everything to her. And I think it is to a lot of the people in our group, actually. I mean, just look at some of the amazing poetry that we get in from you guys. I mean, I can name all our team. I am so proud of our team. Madhu, oh my God, she writes like a dream. Sonali is also an amazing poet. We've got Ibrahim, Seema, Chris. They're all our team. I'm so proud because they are all amazing moderators and they're all damn good poets. Well, damn good doesn't even come into it. They're absolutely brilliant. And I'm so proud of them all. So proud of them all. It's unbelievable. You know, it's amazing. So thanks, guys. A massive thank you. Yeah, Janelle's saying this is what poetry is to me in so many ways. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I get it. I love you too, Madhu, sweetheart. It's just, yeah, it was beautiful, that. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so talking of Chris Sassa, I've read a couple for Chris now, and what a bloody good writer. Snappy. You know, her poetry isn't long in length, but it says so much. Like this next one, which is by Chris, that she sent to me. Last Trace, it's called. His shirt firmly buttoned to the neck, mouth shut. Millions of sighs swimming inside. Black and white days arranged in a pattern unlike his emotions. Bitter taste of memories run down his throat. As he empties bottles, the glass feels too cold against his skin. A scream roars inside and dies immediately. In the middle of his gut, emptiness swallows his existence. Another time, his thumb brushes over the only remaining picture of her, the only trace that survived. I don't know what to say, Chris. You say so much there. Obviously someone who's going about humdrum life and has lost somebody that was so important to him, and all he has is a picture of her. It's sad, it's realistic. What did everybody think about that? I thought it was absolutely stunning. Tell us a bit more, Chris, about what was going on behind that. Where did that come from? And was I right in saying what it was about? Tomato juice. I bloody love the stuff. Oh, you're welcome, Chris. You're welcome, welcome. I love reading your poetry. I might actually put that one to audio, if that's okay. Talking of which, I need you all, if you haven't already, please subscribe to VocalPoint on YouTube. This will go in there later. There are about 50 videos thereabouts of readings for different poets that I've done. So please do go and subscribe and have a look at what's on there. There's some amazing poetry, and I really do my best to bring it to life. So Chris says she was inspired by someone. Okay. Yeah, it's a great poem. Chris was saying that, yeah, I got it right. So sad. It's like the other one I read for you, Mutiny. That was amazing, right? I don't think you actually realise, Chris, how good you are. The next one is by Shelley Rice. I've known Shelley for a couple of years now. I cannot believe the amazing writes that come from Shelley. She's very dark a lot of the time, and every single poem that she writes is brilliant. And I asked her about this one. It's called Pushing Daisies. Shelley Rice, aka the punk poet. And I said to her, you know, what is this about? You know, tell me a bit more. I think it's interesting to find out what's behind some of the poetry, and to get a little excerpt from the poet or the author, if you prefer. And she says, the poem Pushing Daisies is about the constant internal battle for death. Sometimes everything I would look at was speaking death. Hence the many references like tarot and crystal ball. In the poem, death won. My grave was pushing daisies. Now that's bloody dark. That's quote unquote. Shelley Rice. Pushing daisies. A butterfly effect ripples, then fades. A mind under attack, hung by shade. Dulled senses from razors shaving. Your sanity laughing as it's fading. You speak in tongue, no translation. Death blooms in lily-white carnations. Life loses its battle, wounded by hate. Deed cancelled, death refuses to wait. Bury my soul in a dead poet's grave. My heart screams from within a cave. Love's chapter, Love's chapter is carried in my palms. Lips whisper kisses in an eye's calm. Dust is collecting while life is slipping. Fibres of the rope closing and gripping. Winds blew destiny to shower fate. Illusions and mirages, snow blind date. Crystal ball display, pushing daisies. Tarot predicts tastes of arsenic traces. Spilled garnet tears stream your face. A breeze shifts your remains to a face. Beneath the ground you suffocate. Death molests your soul, feel it deflate. Before you stands beast with no care. Fiery take of Sharon's, my life the fair. Very, very dark. Very, very dark. And I don't think I did that justice, actually. I struggled a little bit with that one. But yeah, if you don't know Shelley Rice, you should know Shelley Rice. She is what Jerry Langdon is to the male side of dark. She's the female side of dark. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Yeah, you're right. And Andrew is saying, in death there is life that starts again in so many ways. And it does, doesn't it? We've all got to go someday, and I want to come back as a well looked after cat. Or if not, you know, I'd like to reinvent myself in some way, some good. I don't know what I believe there really, but everyone to their own. Well, the next one is a sassy one, and this is by Jen Banks. Watch me blow. Did you think I wouldn't notice the way you twist my words? Try to make me look a fool, make me sound absurd. I'm not so naive that I can't perceive how you try to shift the blame. Make me take on all the guilt, make me look insane. Do you think you can just rest your case? Do you really believe I'd lie to your face? Well, I'm a hellhound for the brutal truth, when we both know the story and I've got the proof. Maybe it's a high state of anxiety that drives you to control. Maybe it's your own brokenness. Hell, maybe you're just an arsehole. Understand that this is not serving us when you take things I've confessed in trust and mangle and interpret thus to score a point. My defence is bust. I'd advise you to think real hard next time before accusing me of some emotional crime, throwing fuel on another falsehood misplaced. Because if you're like that gas boy, it might just blow up in your face. Love that. Very sassy. She's obviously calling out somebody who's, well, I think maybe we've all been there with this. I find it a right that is very relatable. But isn't Jen a fantastic writer? Shouldn't Jen publish? She should. Saying that, you all should. I'm amazed. Can't keep up with you all. Please subscribe to YouTube. Please keep an eye out for our magazine, our new poetry form feature, our new book review feature, spoken spotlight and promotional spotlight will be going down to twice a month each, and potentially might be phased out. One, I think the interest is gone, and two, we're not getting any buying from the members, so what's the point? Okay, Janelle, Erin Elizabeth Peters, owner of the Poetry Labyrinth, wrote the next one, and I said to her, what's, you know, tell me a bit about it, and she sent me 3 lines which pretty much summed the whole thing up. It would be like if I died today, I'll be stuck in limbo. I have too many things I need to fix or amend first. So this is Janelle Erin Elizabeth Peters, or Jan. We've got loads of names for her. I'm joking. We entered the bedroom of the old house on the hill. People say that it's haunted. When you enter, you feel the chill. Hoping to catch a glimpse of her while we visited the home. On the left, a shadow we couldn't ignore. It was there we saw her roam. She waited by the window in the corner of the room. There she stood silently, in a white dress filled with gloom, pondering her life and all the moments that went wrong, thinking thoughts of yesteryears while singing this haunting song. Wailing in the darkness, she hummed this little tune. Come with me, I'm all alone, stuck here in my doom. All the sins of my past left me stuck here on this plane. Someone rescue me and fast. I cannot take this pain. While she hummed a little song, the room began to freeze. Ice cold chills came over us that brought us to our knees. The ghost of Janelle still to this day continues to haunt. She never made her amends, so in limbo she is caught. That's a bit eerie, isn't it, and a bit spooky, because Janelle's actually saying there that her thought process was, if anything happened to her and she died, that she's got so much to do that she can't, you know, there's so much to do, and she was the ghost in that story. And I didn't mean to sing it, sorry. Just having a look at some of the comments. Go Shelley Rice, says Jerry Langdon. I think I'm a bit behind on the comments. I don't touch my phone because Carl Butler, Andrew Jonathan Don, yeah. Madu. So what did everyone think of Janelle's rather, oh, I don't know, quite spooky really. Yeah, everybody loves it, Janelle. It was just a bit, I don't know, reading it, it was a bit, oh, gave me the shivers. Yeah, it gave me the shivers. We've got James K. Blaylock next. Cracking writer. A little bit like Chris Sasser. He doesn't write too much at all. But what is written says so much, which in itself is an actual art, I think. You don't have to write 10 stanzas. You know, somebody can write 8 lines and it can be just as effective. So, James K. Blaylock, what would happen, brackets, to dream? This is from his 4th book, Apothecary, which will be available on Amazon very soon. Wasn't sure how to read this, to be honest, but let's give it a shot. What would happen if we saw ourselves in a different kind of light? Never mind shadows. Waking up to dream the dream of dreams. Leave the nightmares atop our nightstands. That's it. So what would happen if we saw ourselves in a different kind of light? Never mind shadows. Waking up to dream the dream of dreams. Leave the nightmares atop our nightstands. What does everybody think about that? Yeah, Carl says he's a brilliant writer. He is, I love James. And looking forward to receiving a copy of Apothecary. With Carl doing the book reviews very successfully and very well, I must say, and he reads it from page to page to page. Runs it via the Poet First, obviously, because he doesn't want to upset anybody, but he wants to be honest. Then we have, because we can't buy everybody's book, you know, we're not loaded. So we have had a few donations. So to anybody that has sent a free book, then Carl will reciprocate, obviously, when his book's out. 2nd of September, we're hoping. Published. Yeah, published. So it will be in bookstores and it will be on Amazon. And it deserves to be published. It really does. So what's everybody saying? Yeah, Andrew Jonathan Daniels is. It's amazing. James, I've got to be honest, at first when I started looking at James' work, I didn't get it. But then when I sort of sat down and really delved into it, I was like, yeah, I get it now. I get it. Okay, time's going on. The next one is an absolutely gorgeous write, and I do hope I've got the name pronounced correctly, because there's nothing more annoying if you don't. It's Waka Skull. He's a moderator in the Poetry Labyrinth, and he posts quite a bit in Dark Poetry Society, and I just fell in love with this. I'm sure you will too. Here goes. It's called The Love Language. Don't blink, for I want to see stars twinkling in your deep eyes. Don't breathe. I want to stay in your air for eternal days. Don't speak, for I wish to be your unspoken words. Don't think. You are ordinary, for you are a precious soul. Don't believe the sadness within you. Love will light you up again. Don't remember the moments that hurt. A new day awaits you. And I will tell your wounded heart that you will be healed and never be alone. For you will be loved and you will shine. I mean, that's just lovely, isn't it? This is, to me, about a guy who is so in love. He, you know, everything that the muse, or potentially the real person in his life, is doing. He absolutely is there. You know, he feels everything, every sense. I do think it's a beautiful write. Yeah, he is an amazing poet, Chris. He's a great poet. I must say, but I just love those last few lines. And I will tell your wounded heart that you will be healed and never be alone, for you will be loved and you will shine. I mean, God, I loved it. You wanted me to read another one which was really good, but I connected with that one more, and I thought, what an inspiring poem. Please let him know I've read it. Because he was asking if I was reading it, bless him. Hey James, you're a bit late to the party, dude. I've just read yours. Got time at the end. I'll do it again, honey. We've got a couple more. Next one's a bit of a cheeky write, actually. It's by Michael Sutton. Are you all familiar with Michael Sutton? You should be. Another bloody good writer. There's very few writes I come across in Dark Poetry Society and I'm like, you know, another amazing writer, Michael Sutton. And I think this one is submitted to the magazine theme this month, which is Hotel, Motel, No-Tell. Optional. You do not have to write to the theme, but that theme should give you a lot to write about, in all honesty. And as ever, thank you, Jerry Langdon, for formatting, editing and publishing. Bloody big job. Bloody big job. So, Michael Sutton. Now, there is a couple of triggers. Religious intonations, sexual intonations, all make-believe, not, you know, not the author's actual beliefs or anything, just for the sake of poetry. So everyone to their own, you know. Missionary impositions. So missionary impositions, but he's done it as impositions. Okay, so here we go. You'll get the gist of it. It's very cheeky. False names and fake alibis. 3-piece suits for tired old lies. Scrawled in ink upon the ledger. Cash on counter, seeking pleasure. Rooms for rent, lust for night. out of mind and out of sight. Rings left in pockets and in purses. Working late again, rehearses. Taboo thrills and spicy secrets. Giving in again to weakness. Getting what they can't at home. Getting what they can on loan. Mad desires for playing roles. Fathers, sisters, saving souls. Subs and dons, whips and chains. Taking holy names in vain. Prayer beads doing double duty. Cross-shaped paddles spanking booty. Such habits far too hard to break. Need punishments to ease the ache. Soundproof walls, a perfect venue. Nothing off the table or menu. Freedom found in bindings taut. No end in sight until they're caught. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. Obviously, it's, you know, what goes on in a hotel stays in a hotel, wherever that hotel may be. So, yeah, really, really good. I thought it was excellent. Oh, Sonali, sweetie, hello. You missed your read. Where were you? Bloody difficult with all these time zones. I'm just seeing Maria, hello. I would love to read one of your Marias. Please send me one. Any poetry, send to vocalpointspoken@gmail.com, all lowercase. vocalpointspoken@gmail.com. Now, at the moment, I am pretty much inundated, but if you send me a write, it will get featured and will get read. I promise. Thank you. James K. Blaylock, he's still here. It would be fine to read your write again if you want me to. Sonali was by the Tooth Fairy. What are you going on about, Jerry Langdon? I'm sure Jerry's on something. Okay, I wanted to finish with the one I've got here. Oh, she's at the dentist, right? Okay. Oh, bless her. I hope you're all right, Sonali. I hate dentists. Oh, God, do I. Okay. So, if James K. Blaylock is not around, then I'm actually finishing with one by Carl as well. He's featured poet this week, and I want to give him a big shout out. One, he is my bestest friend in the whole world. I adore him. He is the most selfless, giving person you will ever meet, and he helps me in so many ways, it's untrue. Two, he is an amazing poet, as you all know. Absolutely amazing poet. And you know, give him a subject, boom, 3 minutes later it's there. He's already working on his second book, third book. You know, this is going to be a trilogy, probably bigger than that. I just love you, Carl. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me, the group, our members and everything. I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't. So this one is one that Carl wrote fairly recently, and it's very personal to him. And I see this going on. I did put the video in group this morning, but it bombed. It went straight to the bottom. Didn't get any comments or anything, which is fine. But so it's The Wolf Reawakens. My thoughts are darkened. How can I take this pain away? The deepest clawing, gnawing feeling, scraping at my knees. No one sees the hurt so physical. Like a wolf trapped in some random cage, yearning for its freedom. It will howl and whimper, snarl and simper, gnash its teeth and bare its claws, until crimson blood will smear the floor. And in acrid pools, now mixed with tears. The throbbing and the tearing, I just want to rip and tear my flesh, exhume the very bones that lie in tortured agony. Yes, this is me. As I lie in yet another night of pain, alone again, and drowning in my sea of sorrows, my maw a mourning gaping void, just wishing to avoid the move, the next bad flex that stabs me in the brain. My nerves are shredded and there is no somnolence, only irritating, debilitating pain. My wolf has woken and I cannot cajole it back to sleep again. Oh, the pain. So that is very much about the pain that Carl's has from 2 really bad knees. And obviously the metaphor is the wolf. Carl read that on his Spoken a couple of weeks ago, and I'd read it, but I'd not, you know, when you sit and you really dissect to write, which I don't get a lot of time to do, unfortunately, but I did, and I was like, I've got to read that. He's going through so much pain, and yeah, I'm so sorry, Carl. Yeah, I do get emotional about rights. How can you not, you know, you guys sit there or you know, something strikes you, or a smell, something that you see, something that you hear, one of your senses kicks in and that's it, you've got to write. It's the same reading, let me tell you. There are certain you know, poems that I read that I get into straight away and I just connect with. That was one of them, and it was a brilliant write, a really good write. So that is it, guys. We've done 10, 11 actually. The next vocal point I'm hoping I can do in 2 weeks, but I will let you know the date as and when we can. Thank you so much for trusting my voice, and for tuning in. If you want to send me a write, then vocalpointspoken@gmail.com. Oh, James, you missed. I can read your, oh, you know, I don't like if the poet takes the time to tune in to listen to his write, then you know he should hear it. So James, let's go back and read yours for you. I don't like you missing it. And while I'm reading it, maybe you can give us a bit of a backdrop, you know, a bit of a interest, you know, a bit of background to it. James K. Blaylock even. What would happen to dream? What would happen if we saw ourselves in a different kind of light? Never mind shadows. Waking up to dream the dream of dreams. Leave the nightmares atop our nightstands. I hope you like that, James, and I hope it was read how you expected. I was bigging you up before, just saying that, you know, your rights are short and sweet, and this is so bloody much amazing. Sonali, I'm sorry you missed yours, sweetie. I think I hope she's all right, bless her. I hate the damn dentist. Thank you guys for tuning in. This will be a flying round group, unfortunately, complete with mishaps, rawness, but what can I say? I am hoping so much that this will lead to my dream job, which is to become a narrator. Once I've done Carl's audiobook, then I'm hoping to do other audiobooks and to get some, you know, well, just to be endorsed by the poets that I've read for, and then I can get on Audible. But let me tell you, I will never charge a friend. If I ever do make it to that, I will never charge a friend. Ever. Ever. That's a promise. Rob, I haven't forgotten you. You're on the next one. I've just got so many, and an hour literally you can get 10, 12 rights done, and we've gone over. And well, not quite, but I don't want to bore anybody. James, I look forward to it. Like I said earlier, you know, any books that poets are sending us, we will reciprocate by sending a copy of Carl's. He's probably going to need to buy quite a lot of authors' books. Look out, there'll be a mad promotion by moi on behalf of my buddy, and buy it. It's cheap, $9.99, 190 pages. Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much. And guys, moderators, family, yeah, family, not moderators, thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, I'll get back to you, James. Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you.